Cavan beating Cork away in Porky Queeve, 17 points to 16. It's 2 wins from 3 now for Cavan under Raymond Galligan.
Yeah.
And even the defeat, like you pushed Donegal to the pin of their collars. And for Cork now, it's 3 defeats from 3 and teetering ever closer to Tailteann Cup football.
Yeah, definitely from the Cork end things to be very disappointed. But no, again, we were delighted with that. We're delighted with the win yesterday. I said at the start of the podcast, it's a tough place to go. You're talking 4 to 5 hour trip from here to get to Cork. So in fairness, it's a real big achievement for the Cavan lads to go up there and get the win. And it's brilliant. And it kind of that bit of security. And I suppose you're talking one more win and you are safe in Division 2, as I said at the start. So delighted with it. A lot of workman-like performances in Super Value Park Queeve. I have to get it all right these days, the way things are going. But yeah, so the likes of Paddy Lynch, he is flying at the minute. You've Kieran Brady. Kieran obviously won the All-Ireland with Arva. It's great to see him flying for Cavan. Your Darren Cavidi's like Pork Falk was sent off near the end, but Pork always puts in big shifts for Cavan. So yeah, they'll be delighted with the progress. As I said, Ray McGalligan, he'll be thrilled with how things are moving at the minute. He'll know the Cavan lads inside and out. It's probably a job and the thing he always wanted to do. So it's gone very well for him. Obviously the McKenna Cup, like that's said and done now, and he probably wasn't overly happy with it. But it's probably all about staying up in the league, and he's got the start he wanted. Very tough place to go. That game really could have went any way because Cork obviously badly needed points. Probably could have nearly and should have got them nearly at the end. Could have even got 1 point yesterday, obviously, but Cavan were very fortunate to get the win in the end. But Cork, what you say, but Cork very much like Kildare at the minute, probably in disarray. Cork, it's as Daniel Goulding a lot of the time and Matthew Hurley be saying on my podcast, it just beggars belief what can be going on down there. It just for the pick and population and size, but you can be blue in the face talking about them at this stage. But they need to find wins. They don't have much time to do it. You need the golden 6 points to stay put, and it's they've a big couple of weeks coming ahead of themselves. And they probably would have loved to win yesterday, but unfortunately, from their end of things, they just come up against probably a well-organised, hungry Cavan team that really want to consolidate their place in Division 2. But yeah, we're delighted with the win, Matt, Seamus. It was great to get it, and 2 points coming away from Cork. We were thrilled, and obviously great support. We're down there as well yesterday, and yeah, happy days.
No doubt about it. And we've one more comment in here from Jack. This is about our debate a couple of minutes ago. He says, contradictory point. A lot of lesser quality teams also are not willing to do it because all attack can also lead to a big hammering too. But agree, it's too much system focused with a lot of teams. Absolutely agree. Right, like it is a contradictory point as well. That like if I was managing a weaker team, if I was managing Laois and we were going up against... If we were going up against Dublin and I was managing Laois, I'd be parking 14 men behind the ball because the game allows that to happen.
Or do a Kilmacud. Do a Kilmacud. Bring on about 10 other lads against Dublin. God. Bring on, I don't know.
And like one more point I'll get on you from the Cavan game. Obviously, Raymond Galligan came in. Eamon Murray's there in the backroom team, like Stephen O'Neill, like a lot of these really, really big influential figures. Raymond Galligan's first year as boss, it's been a good start.
Yeah, no, it's been a brilliant start for him. And look, I'm delighted for him, really. Like, Ray's put his heart and soul into Cavan football over the years. Like, he kind of knows nothing different. Like, as I keep saying, he'll know them lads inside and out. And he was obviously the captain of the Cavan team for a number of years as well. So, no, I'm delighted for him. I'm thrilled for him. It's great. And I know, obviously, the sacrifice and dedication that goes into management Cavan and managing any county team these days. So he'd be thrilled, as you aforementioned, the likes of Eamon Murray. He adds so much quality to that backer team. Stephen O'Neill, probably one of the best forwards in Ulster, probably if not one of the best forwards we've seen in recent years. He'll be a huge help to the forwards in the Cavan setup there. And then you've obviously James Burke. James Burke was at the Mayo lads, Mayo senior footballers over at the minute. No doubt he's keeping the Cavan lads' heads down and working hard in the training field and working the system, working the plans. But yeah, delighted for him. It's brilliant.
Yeah, no doubt about that at all. Like, I mean, it's been a perfect start for him as Cavan boss. Now, one team that have not had a great start at all, to 2024. And I think personally, this current group are right up there as one of the most frustrating teams I have ever watched. Is the current Kildare team. They got thumped by Armagh in Netwatch Cullen Park.
Buddy.
2-16 to 8 points. And like, as you said, there's a way to lose. Like, you look at how Louth lost to Armagh. They went down fighting.
It could have been more. It could have been more.
Very last
Armagh
minute.
could have
What
scored
is
more.
going on here?
Yeah, Kildare's really dire straits at the minute, and I think it was John Fogarty from the Irish Examiner. He was basically saying that I think Glenn Ryan fell out with a journalist after the game, or an interview after the game, got a bit heated. So we'll no doubt be hearing about that in the next couple of days. It's just really disaster stuff for Kildare at the minute. We bet them in the first game and up in Carlow, and probably comfortably enough, and we were happy with our night's work, but yeah, it's just really dire straits for them at the minute. If you're a Kildare supporter, you really probably have to be pulling your hair out at this stage. I think I seen a tweet. There was Kildare supporters in 45 minutes before throw-in, and look, there is definitely an interest, to be following the Kildare footballers, and the fans are just not getting any bang for the buck at the minute. Really hard to know what's going on. Obviously, Glenn Ryan's over there at the minute. You have Johnny Doyle in the backer team, and when you have Johnny Doyle, you think things might be moving a bit better than they are, but obviously not. I think it's Anthony Rainbow. I think he's still involved. I know you had Paul Galvin. I think was there last year, but he left. It's definitely not for the. It's definitely not. It's definitely not for the want of having big names in, and obviously I know big players and don't always make good coaches, but really hard to know what's going on. It's just a breakdown of communication on the training field. Our lads just not really interested. Is Daniel Flynn really? Is he? His whereabouts these days? Is he just completely opted out of things? It's very hard to know. So, yeah, it's definitely disappointing. Armagh will be thrilled with that win, and I said it on the podcast during the week. I said it to the boys that it was probably one of the more obvious results of the weekend to say Armagh were going to win. It was, look at Armagh really just kind of stretched their legs and really kick scores to beat the man there today. And it could have been a lot more. It could have been 10 or 20 more points, and that's probably really worrying from the Kildare end of things. Kieran McGeaney, he'll be delighted. I think Armagh could really be looking at promotion at this stage, really. A couple more wins and it'll be home and hose. I think that was probably their aim, to get out of Division 2 and could go straight back up. So Kieran McGeaney will be delighted. He's blooding a lot of lads. Rian O'Neill's still not back, so that's definitely a positive from the Armagh end of things. So they'll be delighted. But yeah, Kildare, it's a sorry situation at the minute. And yeah, like, even I know Hugh McKenna, like, he's a controversial journalist and he followed Kildare footballers all his life, and he's normally generally quiet about the Kildare kind of situation. Obviously, maybe when they're doing okay, but when he's starting to really dig his heels in, the Kildare people are probably getting very frustrated at the minute. But yeah, Glenn Ryan, if you're hearing fallouts with reporters after the game today, it just doesn't make for great reading. And yeah, it's a messy situation.
You're absolutely right. And like, first things first, massive credit to Armagh. They went away, got a 14-point victory. Conor Turbett scored a goal in 5. Rory Grugan got the other goal in the first half. But Kildare, like, there's a massive disconnect somewhere. It's like, yeah, you're right. Like, Armagh, we're always going to win this game. I think we all kind of figured. But for me, it was how quickly it was over. Armagh led 1-3 to no score after 10 minutes, and they led 2-4 to 3 points by the 18th minute. They led 2-8 to 4 points at halftime. No fight. No, dying for that shirt. And this is what I'm talking about, the disconnect. The players are there. Daniel Flynn and Kevin Feely and Kevin Flynn, like, individually have put in performances that I'm like, they are up there with the most talented footballers in the country. Same with Jimmy Hyland, Mick O'Grady in their respective positions. Then you have the likes of James McGrath, Jack Robinson, Jack Sargent, all coming through from the under-20 teams. They won the All-Ireland at under-20 level in 2018. They got to the final in 2022, and they won it in 2023. So the players are coming through. And then you have Glenn Ryan, John Doyle, Dermot Earley, Anthony Rainbow in the backroom team of this Kildare.
Yeah.
The biggest legends that have played for Kildare in the 21st century. Yeah, but and you could argue that they have ever had. If you're not going to get up for them, who are you going to get up for?
Who are you going to get up for?
About. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Where's the disconnect? Where's it not working?
Yeah. And it's crazy, and as I keep saying, the county setups, and we hear nothing, and like, it's all very. But as you're after saying, and you're after pinpointing all the names there, it's it could be too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. You could have a lot of voices. You could have Johnny Doyle saying one thing. You could have Dermot Earley saying another thing. You could have Glenn Ryan saying something. You could have Anthony Rainbow. So I just think, and obviously Cavan are very good names involved, but I think when you have a lot of names and I think you hear, like, what is a player supposed to be listening to Johnny Doyle? Does Dermot Earley want to have a big influence? So you could have so many voices, and that could be frying players' heads, and you could be saying, so it could be information overload at the minute. We don't have a clue. Me and you's not in the Kildare set up. We're not watching training. We're not doing Jim McGinnis on a sending spies, but it's very hard to know. But the big names are there. The finances seem to be there. But as you rightly said, Seamus, it's a very, very good point. If you're not going to get up to them men, I don't know, is it an attitude problem? Is it the players? I know some of the players, I know, like, their personas maybe off the field or whatever way they go on.
But they had issues with Cian O'Neill. They had issues with Cian O'Neill before.
Yeah.
They had issues with other management teams. This isn't something that's just come out of the blue.
No,
They had, like, Jack O'Connor didn't get them all on board.
Well, in fairness, Jack O'Connor probably didn't really. That ended probably bad enough because obviously when the Kerry job came up, Jack probably did jump ship. So in fairness, that probably was always going to end bad. Cian O'Neill's a very, very good coach, so it's hard to know why they couldn't buy into him either.
Well, 2022 when they got relegated, the vibe around Kildare in that league campaign, they were exciting, they were adventurous, they went for it. They should have beaten Kerry, they should have beaten Tyrone, and they were very unlucky to go down. And they beat Dublin. Like, they beat Dublin in Newbridge, and the atmosphere that day was incredible from a Kildare point of view. Then they get annihilated by Dublin in the Leinster final that year, and nothing's been the same since. It's all completely flipped on its head, and you wonder why. But they have to get their act together now.
I just don't think so.
Down at the bottom of the
but I think
they don't get
we've seen that. Because we seen the championship last year, we seen the interviews that Glenn Ryan was given after the game, and he was like, me and Aaron Prendergast, in fairness, we've a bit of a joke about it.
Anything else?
Like me and Aaron, like from the GAA Fan TV like channel, he was saying that, like, me and him would be joking about it sometimes with Glenn Ryan, giving out about the music in Croke Park, or I don't know, about the toilets not work. But, like, when you're starting to point fingers at everything else, bar yourself, that's when problems start to rise. So I just think Glenn Ryan, I don't think he's the man to lead that project forward, and I wouldn't be surprised. Does he see out the rest of the league? Is this his last year? Does he get frustrated? Does Kildare run it to a vote to see if Glenn Ryan leads that project forward for the rest of the year? I'm not sure, but it just doesn't seem like he's the right man to take that project forward. But as you say, there's the right men in the background team, but I just think Glenn Ryan's future looks fairly limited with that Kildare team.
Yeah, no, I would agree, and it's unfortunate because he genuinely was one of my favourite footballers to watch growing up. As a centre half back, he was outstanding. He was a leader, and he would have been one of the men you would have picked for that role. And hopefully, I hope he can turn it around. Now, one team that have turned it around with a single appointment was Jim McGinnis coming into Donegal. They beat Fermanagh 2-16 to 8 points in Letterkenny. You were mentioning the goal from Darragh O'Boyle that completely flipped it on its head. At halftime, it was 6-5 to Donegal. Fermanagh were hanging in there. Donegal blew them away in the second half, scoring 2-10. Darragh O'Boyle hitting 2-3 of that from the half-back line, albeit one of the goals was, Ross Bogue was way off his line. But for Donegal, it's 3 from 3.
Yeah. I know Donegal will be delighted, and I was watching this game, and Fermanagh started very, very well, but it's just unfortunate. Donegal probably are moving very well at the minute, and I thought, geez, like Fermanagh could be in with a real shot here, but I just think it's just that bit of lack of quality for Fermanagh. But in fairness, Fermanagh were very, very well organised in the first half. They done very well. Obviously, Fermanagh are always going to be a very well organised team anytime you go against them. But it kind of refers back to my point: the Fermanagh keeper taking the chance, going out the field, and then the Donegal gets the goal, chips it over. And he goes to Tom Simlock at the BBC was saying it was like David Beckham-esque nearly, but different sort of reference Mr. Beckham to add into the GAA. I don't know, Shamey Coleman or some of these boys might get a bit of a reference, or Wes Hoolan or some of the boys. They're used to don the Irish jersey, but of course Coleman still does. But Donegal, they'll be delighted with that. I think their targets are to get up to Division 1 again. Jim McGinnis, of course, has the boys moving very well. Obviously, we had them a few weeks ago, and obviously bet us by a point. Cavan put in a very good performance that evening. But yeah, I think Donegal and Armagh probably will get out of Division 2. The signs are looking towards that. Paddy McBurty really looks like he's the bit between his teeth again this year. Obviously, Oisin Gallen moving very, very well up front, and Ryan McHugh. So look, Donegal doing very well at the minute. it'll be very interesting to see what they're like coming the Ulster Championship and how Jim McGuinness, what his approach will be like towards that. But yeah, McGuinness will be delighted. Yeah, and I think they will be getting promoted, Mr. Brady.
I do agree with you. And interestingly, the two of them are facing each other next. So I think that will be a hell of a game. We have a comment in here from Gavin O'Reilly. He says, great win for Cavan. Get something from Armagh. Promotion is not off the cards, but 3rd to 4th in Division 2 would be solid. Absolutely. Yes. First year under Gallagher. Can't argue with that. Now, Meath got their first win, as we said, of the league campaign in 2024. They beat Louth 111-19 in Port Talton. This is the final game in Division 2. And then I believe you're on a time schedule, so I'll finish it out from there. But Meath and Louth, Meath hit 1-6 without reply in the second half to claim a dramatic win. In the 40th minute, Louth led by 4 points. Meath fought back and won it. So, I mean, they showed some fight.
Yeah, no, great win for me, and I think it was as Joe Sheridan was saying earlier on. He's a punter for me this year. He was delighted with the Meath win. Meath badly needed a result against a pretty good Louth team. In fairness, and as someone was saying to me earlier on, Mickey Hart has probably left them in good condition. Obviously, Ger Brennan's gone in there, but Meath be delighted. They needed it badly. It was a great result for them, and they'd be delighted. I know obviously they would need to get Jordan Mars back and a few knocks, and I think it was Mr. Costello came up with the goal today, so they'll be delighted with it. Badly needed it. And very much like Cavan, like Meath's a very strong footballing county. They always were. They were always had great following, great back, and so they'll be delighted. Again, very much like us, they probably will want to consolidate their place in Division 2. Next couple of games, Seamus, will be very, very interesting. In fairness, this weekend was probably going to paint a bit of a better picture for us to see who'll stay up and stay down, and positioning wise. But yeah, they'll be delighted with that. Louth probably will be quite disappointed. Of course, it was probably going to be that bit of a drop off since Mickey Hart left. And Ger Brennan will put all his effort into leading the Louth footballers as far as he can. But yeah, probably Louth probably could have won, but yeah, I just think Meath's need was a lot greater because they had a very poor start and could just be the kick that Meath need.
Absolutely, and they left themselves in the bottom of a rut that they definitely built for themselves. There's no question about it. Their performance against Fermanagh wasn't great, although Fermanagh came to play. And then in round 2, they weren't great against Armagh. But Armagh, put Kildare to the sword in a similar way. Yeah. So Armagh have definitely rebounded from a bit of a stale opener performance against Louth. But then seeing how Louth got on, Louth came to play this year as well. So Division 2 definitely is no cakewalk. It always is the most interesting division, in my opinion, because you don't have literally any real safe spots. You're either going for promotion or you're trying to avoid relegation, and the relegation consequences are dire in Division 2. No question about it. Straight into the Tailteann Cup. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. See, this is what I'm saying. There's always, and the way the format's gone, and even the way the Division 1 is gone, as I said a couple of minutes ago, but suppose a dog nature in Division 1, you kind of need to get off to a kind of good start. So the league is very, very important, and I know Cavan probably had a bit of a reputation years ago for maybe not taking it overly serious, but it is so important. It gives lads game time. Maybe they might not see game time come championship, but it kind of bloods new lads. It kind of gets that bit of confidence, and I suppose obviously the league probably is the best format we have because you're playing teams that's up the same level. And oh my God, we probably will need to do another podcast about the stuff you need to change the game, Seamus. But the provincials are dead, and it's clear to be seen. Ulster is the only show in town at the minute. And when it comes to your Leinster Championships and Connachts and your Munsters, it's very, very, very much predictable in the last couple of years. So the league is where it's at, Seamus, and we really, I suppose, we need to kind of give it as much emphasis and time as possible.
Yeah, no, I do agree. And John, been an absolute pleasure having you on again. Thank you. Enjoy the evening.
No worries at all, sir. Thanks very much for having me.